Okay, the first thing we have to do, okay, so now we have 10 transactions, right? The first thing we have to do is to set up for each transaction, okay, what items are in that transaction. We have to create a matrix with transactions going as rows and items in columns. Okay, items in columns. So we have what items are there? We have red, white, and green. All right, and then white is already counted, and then we have orange. All right, blue, another item. Okay, and then of course we are doing it manually. SAS will just run through the data set and will create the matrix automatically. So and then we have, okay, so these are the items. All right, so we have now transactions going from 1 to 10. So for each transaction we have to tell how many, whether which of the items are present in the transaction. Okay, so we want in the row a 1 if the item is present, okay, and 0 if the item is not present. So that's what we have to do. And how can we do that? Okay, so of course in a small transaction set like this, you can just view it and then fill out the matrix, but that's not what we want. We want some formula that will automatically count. So what formula you think we can use? If, what about if? Count if? Yes, that's a good suggestion. So, but we want count if. Okay, we're going to have only one, I mean, we are assuming here, only one of unique items. So you're not going to have red occurring twice, right? So either it occurs or it doesn't occur. So if it occurs, we want a 1. So maybe we can, one possibility is to use match, right? So match is the lookup value. Okay, so that would be red, and we want to be able to copy this formula across and down. So when we copy across, red should change to white, so which means the column should change, but red, white, the color should always come from this row when you copy the formula down. So which means our absolute reference should be partial, or it should be only for row and not for column. Okay, and then we have the lookup array, and we want to look up the array of the transaction. So which is that? We want to look at that transaction to see whether we can find a match for that given item, red or blue or whatever it may be. Now once again, we have to use absolute reference judiciously. So as we copy, all right, across for different columns, so from red to white, green, orange, blue, and yellow, this column should remain the same because this is transaction 1 is that. Okay. But when you copy the match down for transaction 2 and 3 and 4, this range should move down to the corresponding transaction. So row should change, column should not. So we need that. Okay. And then we want exact match. So let's put a 0. All right. So let's see what happens now. All right. Well, that's good. So it found red. So it put a 1 there. Now if you copy then we are not getting ones where we should have one, right? For white, you should have a 1, because what we want is whether that item is present or not. Okay. And when it is not present, we want a 0, but it is giving us an error because that is not found in the range. So match is a good starting point, but we have to do something more with match. Match by itself is not going to work. Because this 2 and 3 says that within that range, white occurs in the second spot. Okay. Green occurs in the third spot. Okay. But that's not what we want. And also it gives error when something is not available, right? So there is a function called isError. All right. Let's see what that does. Okay. So, well, that's not very nice, is it? Let's see. So if I say isError, then it only says whether there is an error or not. So these 3 are error, these 3 are false. So, okay, so isError with match is still not getting us there. But we are close because we can okay, so what we need to do then is we can check okay, if there is an error, all right, then code it as a 0. Because if there is error, then it's not, that item is not present in the transaction. Okay. Otherwise, code it as a 1. Right? So that, okay, that gives us a 1 here and 0 when it is not present. So that's good. Okay, so now we are ready to copy. So now we have the basic matrix ready, and using this matrix then we can start calculating support.